Welcome back to the 12-hour Money Bomb for Tim Moen. I'm Josh Steffler of wearechange.victoria.org and Freedom Free For All, and I'm joined by my compatriots George, Greg, and Brad, also of Freedom Free For All Television and wearechange.victoria.org. We're here to paint the final picture. All too often you hear about libertarian futures are Mad Max societies, and that is patently false. It is propaganda designed to make you afraid of the future, afraid of the unknown. So let's peel away a bit of that unknown and paint a picture for you at home what a libertarian government actually looks like. Because it's not Mad Max society where people are murdering. It's not anarchy. It's the proper
we were living
state.
in Mad Max now.
It's the proper role of the state. So, let's talk about what a libertarian future would look like. What do you think a libertarian future looks like, Brad?
Well, I believe that based on their principles of property rights and sovereignty, that it's going to be a heck of a lot better than the deal we've been getting from the traditional government so far. I mean, what's the famous expression? To keep on doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results is the definition of insanity, right? So for the last all of my lifetime, the traditional parties have been promising one thing and delivering another, and it's kind of like a revolving door, and they're more taxation, more infringement on my freedoms, just increase, and they keep saying the opposite thing. Well, maybe we should just turn around and give the libertarians at least an opportunity to say what they mean and mean what they say, and back it up. And I'm hopeful that would mean that we would have a transparency in government. I mean, that's a nice cliche. Everybody says it. But, I think the principles that are stated in the libertarian platform are ones that we should be able to call them up on. I mean, could you imagine having a real free market society?
Well, you talk about all the taxes and think, almost 80% of my income goes towards paying some form of 100 plus taxes. Okay, so with 80% more income in my pocket, what could I do? What could I do with that money? I could, start a small business and actually grow it. I could put more money in the bank. I could invest more money towards my kids' health and my children's education and their future. I could put money towards helping the poor and helping people in my community. I could build things. I could bring people around me. I could contribute more. But no, the state, big government, keeps leeching off me and telling me that they know how to spend my money better than I do. When the reality is, if I had 80% of my income back, I'd be able to fulfill my innovative capacity. I could use my creative output, and I could do all the things. I could spend more time on the things I'm passionate about. And that would make me happier as an individual, and I think happiness is contagious.
And personally, Greg, I think you'd probably do a better job of spending your money than the government does.
Thank you. I think so, too.
Well, especially when you consider that government always seems to do deficit financing, and yet you talk to any housewife, and she'll say, you can never run a house that way. So how in the hell can you run a government that way?
Well, I think you can see how they run a government that way pretty poorly.
But you see, they're not really running it. That's the whole issue. They're not serving us, the people.
Right.
They're serving them, the servants.
Themselves.
Yeah.
I think that a libertarian future actually looks like the traditional Canadian dream, the American dream. Back in a time where families owned their homes, where they had backyards, where it was safe for children to play in, where they knew their neighbors, where people owned their vehicles, where they lived within their means, where they were able to go on vacation if they decided that's what they wanted to do with their money, or buy a new car, or start a business. It doesn't look like the future today where we've got massive mortgage debt, massive homeowner or personal debt, people that go into university or college and then they get out with these massive debts. These are all relatively new things from old parties. I think that the future with a libertarian perspective looks great because the Libertarians do not want to tell you how to spend your money. If you want to help the poor, you help the poor. You don't have to go through the state and start a 401k and file all these papers. You go and do what you want to do. And most people are good people, and they do good with the time and the money that they have. But the more and more the state taxes us, the less time we have at home, the less money we have to follow our passions, to follow our dreams, the less money we have for our futures, for our children's future. And the more dependent we are on the state to provide us this future, to provide us this security when we're older.
And I think that's what they want, is they want you more dependent on the state.
Of course.
It's job security for them. So, I mean, if they can keep you running 24, just running from work to childcare to eat, sleep, work, that works for them. Whereas if you have more time and money in your pocket, then you're going to have a lot more choice. And that's not what they want. So it is a sort of us or them issue. And I really think that the Libertarian Party is the only one that's talking straight about what we need.
And the time is now for you to decide if this is the kind of future you want. Do you want to keep going with the way things are going, with taxes always going up, with your savings always going down, with new programs that never benefit you, but always seem to find... The government always seems to find money to give corporate tax breaks or big business crony capitalism, then act. You need to create the future that you wish to see. Mahatma Gandhi was right. Be the change that you wish to see. Reach into your pocket, find $5 or $10 or $20 and help Tim Moen get elected and bring this future forward. Help him create the future that we all want to see, that puts money back in all of our pockets. The propaganda is out there, and they're going to play you against your neighbor and your friend. $5 now, $10 now will go towards a campaign for liberty. You can be part of something huge. This liberty movement, we are just at the crest of this massive movement. People are sick and tired of the constant growth of government and the intrusion into our lives and into our pocketbooks.
Absolutely.
Be part of something big and donate now. Go to his website, votemoen.ca. Find something that you can do to help this guy. $5 will go a lot farther for liberty than at your local Walmart or corporate franchise that ships your tax dollars and your dollars right out of the community.
I would come back to the libertarian philosophy and what happens. And right now, there's so much outward projection. People are so focused on what everyone else is doing. Right? Society plays it up. Oh, look here. Look at these TV stars. Oh, look at here. This person's got all this money. Oh, look at this person's acting foolish. When the reality is, we're not getting anywhere by looking at other people. We need to be looking at ourselves and focusing on ourselves. We're so worried about what everybody else is doing. We're not taking care of our own business.
Well, if you're not investing in yourself, then where are you going to be in 10 years?
But I think the people that are watching this, they understand that. Mm-hmm. They can appreciate that. The people that are in Alberta, the people from across this country that are watching this, they've already crossed that threshold. They realize that to empower themselves, they empower their family, they empower their community. And that's what the libertarian philosophy really comes down to, empowering the individual.
Yeah, and allowing you to invest in yourself.
Okay, but I think an image would be really helpful here. Because I can remember, I've been around a few years, where you could, if you needed something, you go in the neighbor's back door and it's, here's where you can find it if you need it. You didn't have to lock a door. Wouldn't that be nice to get back to again? So that your back door is open, and if one of us come along and we need something, oh yeah, Greg said we could, that kind of a...
But only if there's an agreement between the parties.
Well, of course.
It wouldn't be
a
communal thing, because that's not what we're talking about here.
But yes, it was. You see, you got people with, the typical house, the yard, the grass, lots of space, and you're in a friendly community. I know a place in Victoria right now, doors never locked.
Sure, my neighbors are great. I know all my neighbors. We have a great relationship. Hey, Greg, what's going on? You want some halibut? Yeah, absolutely, Greg. Greg, you want to come over?
Yeah, that kind of stuff right there. Yeah, exactly.
That happens all the time, and that's because we create relationships. And I love this idea of supporting the individual. That means your son, daughter, your wife, your mother or father, your brother and sister, they're individuals and they're empowered too. Nobody's trying to encroach on them, to push their ideology on them. They're not, it's really about lifting people up at the personal level. And when we do that, we will become stronger as a community. And, we got to step away from such a large government. We really have to focus and narrow the scope of the government.
I'm excited about the concept of libertarianism really catching on, because I do feel that people are waking up across, not just British Columbia and Alberta, across the nation. People are beginning to get onto this, that, government is doing a lousy job and we can do better. And that's my understanding of the Libertarian Party is let the people do better, because we know they can.
Well,
we believe that.
The wake up is happening all over the world. I've even heard stories of where this guy rescued a whale, a baby whale. It got up, swam around a little bit, free and swam around the guy, sort of like eyeball to eyeball kind of stuff, thanking him. Then all of a sudden, the fish just took off or it's a baby whale. That kind of stuff. There's an awakening in the whole world.
I think that the libertarian future looks exactly like what you want it to look like. It's not going to follow the fear tactics of the conservatives or the liberals or the NDP, because they will say anything to get your money and your power. Libertarians believe in voluntary interactions and the non-aggression principle. I urge you to go online after watching this and just do a little bit of research about what the non-aggression principle is, what voluntary interactions actually look like. The Libertarian Party is not a party of coercion. It's not a party of force. It's a party of new ideas, your ideas, and the best ideas that will rise up out of voluntary interaction.
Yeah.
It will fix our monetary situation so that more of your tax dollars will stay in your community. They won't be going to fund wars that you don't agree with. They won't be going to corporations that you don't agree with, or subsidies for crony capitalists that you don't believe in. It won't be going into the politicians' pockets. And a libertarian future is a future of freedom. It's a future of choice, but it's only going to happen with your help. And we got to get more guys that are willing, and women that are willing, to stand up for you, your personal life, liberty, and property in Ottawa. So please donate what you can to the campaign, to the Money Bomb. I'd like to thank all of our members from We Are Change Victoria for helping out and helping everybody. And I'd like to thank you at home for watching this. If you found it interesting, please check us out online, wearechangevictoria.org, Freedom Free for All Television. We're doing a lot of interesting liberty-based things on the West Coast. And we can't do it without your help. Tim can't do it without your help. So together, let's make the future that we all want to see, rather than business as usual, crony capitalism, coercion, hyper-taxation, the elimination of sovereignty, the elimination of privacy, and the intrusion of the state upon our lives.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm Josh Steffler, Freedom Free for All Television, and wearechangevictoria.org. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for watching. Be safe and be free.